Your Best Life is Lumient's multi-goal optimization and cash flow engine that has been designed to help financial professionals showcase the value of their advice while allowing clients to answer their biggest burning question, am I on track? The module combines financial data and client goals to scenario plan and model a household's best life. Stochastic modeling is used so clients can immediately see if they're on track, underfunded, or overfunded in regards to living their best life, helping them make better, more informed life and financial decisions. Once you've completed your first scenario, the on-track score will show you how tracking towards their goals. After your initial best life conversation, a client can return to their portal and refresh this score and scenario anytime. To access your best life, navigate from the client's dashboard to the best life area. Let's run through a base case scenario. Firstly, you will notice that there's no score has been projected just yet. This is because we haven't completed our case. What you can see on the timeline of the goals is that we have a retirement goal here. This has been pre-populated through your client's Your Life survey. If we go ahead and click on to Life and scroll down all the way to the About Your Household, you can see when and where they would like to retire. While we're here, you can check all the other details and results from the Your Life survey. Most of these will populate throughout the Best Life scenario to help you run your best base case. Now we will go back to the Best Life page. Once again, there is no score because we haven't completed the base case yet. We can see the retirement goal has come through on the goals timeline. However, there's no projection chart yet because we haven't completed the base case. The trade-offs here are the detailed inputs required to generate a Best Life scenario. If a client has previously completed a Your Life survey and the extra financial details were included and completed, the client data will pull through not only to Your Life, but also to the Best Life trade-offs. Otherwise, it is within the trade-offs where you can enter the information about the client. If we click onto the household members, we can see that their age is currently here and their current income. For the base case reason, we're going to add the income as $150,000 and $120,000. And then when it comes down to the client income rate change, I'm going to put it as 1.5% and 1.5%. Next, what we want to do is go ahead and look at household financials. Here we can see their assets, liabilities, household income, and their household pre-retirement tax rate. You can change the household savings, but we like to leave that for when we start to manipulate the base case to show the impact of your advice. If we head down into retirement information, here we can see the information about their 401k balances that will come through from the client's Your Life survey if included. What we also need to include is the retirement ages and life expectancy for the clients. This will come through automatically for the client based off their life survey and the client, or if the client has specified a specific retirement age. Here are the retirement age inputs. Here we also have the retirement income that is required. You can, if you wish, choose to make the income required a decreasing payment, as studies show that retirement income decreases, but for now it will say no. Next, we're going to go into allocation strategies. Here you can keep all the excess savings as a cash allocation to savings. We don't want to attribute it elsewhere, nor do we want to touch what to do with any deficit money. Here's where you can show the impact of your advice by showing what their situation would look like with no advice. This scenario has no business information, but this is where we would include any business details. If the client has any business details that they would include, you can go ahead and input them in this area right here. Next, we have the household cash flow table. Here is a spreadsheet of where we start to manipulate the household cash flow. The household spreadsheet can override the scenario by manipulating different circumstances. You can also include extra income if need be, take out income for years off, dial down income, etc., which will all change the scenario you're projecting. You can expand or collapse these areas when presenting in front of clients to limit the detail overload. As this is a base case, I will label this a base case, and Reference model is where you can set their defensive growth split. We'll go ahead and set this as a balanced risk profile. You can do that here by clicking on balance 60/40 because that's the investment profile potentially that they're in. We can also use this to show the impact of investing according to the risk profile. So before we run the projection, if you need to refer to any assumption and limitation of the modeler and how these might impact the projections, you can access that here by getting more information. Next, we're going to hit Run Projection. So here we have our projection score. The on-track score represents the chance a client has to make life expectancy with money left over. The score determines if you have enough income or assets to cover your living, retirement, and goal expenses between now and life expectancy. The results show that the client has a 39% of chance of meeting their retirement goal, and therefore we're underfunded. The score can range from less than 70%, which is off track and underfunded, 70 to 90%, which is on track and have enough money to reach goals in life expectancy, and then over 90%, which is overfunded and that there is a risk of dying rich and not living rich. If we navigate down to the projection chart, here you can see the Monte Carlo simulator that prepares a likely optimistic and pessimistic scenario. The projection shows the likely cash flow excluding assets for the household in the future. The client's goals can be seen in the projection chart and are represented as badges at points in time. The captured financial goals show any financial impact, for example, when they have received any funds for sales of an asset or where they have had to have a payout of sums of funds to achieve this goal. Here, you can also identify if a client has run out of funds. This is highlighted in the red section of the projection chart. By clicking on the projection report to get the CSV file of all the raw inputs if you'd like them for any deep dives or administrative work, or to be able to download the spreadsheet. This is where you can find everything that sits behind the Monte Carlo and shows where all their money has been factored. This is where you can decipher where the funds are going at certain stages in your life. You can also export the projection chart as a PNG or PDF to help supplement your advice documentation, simply by clicking on the icon to click on Download Spreadsheet. You can also zoom in and zoom out of the Graphics files if you want a more of a concise view versus a holistic view. One thing you might want to do before your client consultation is to go into the Goals module and reflect on the fact that we're off track in the Goals module by saying that the goal has low confidence. You can do this by accessing the Goals page, clicking on Retire Comfortably, clicking on Additional Information, and clicking on Low Confidence for the Goals section. This will enable you to go into your consultation presentation showing that there's low confidence in their retirement based off the best life scenario. This will help position the impact of your advice when we go to manipulate that for the best life scenario. Once that's complete, let's go ahead and navigate back to Best Life. Now that we've created the base case scenario, if you want to see how to create and compare a scenario using allocation strategies and household, please watch our next video. Otherwise, you can access more help and resources by clicking Help to access our Lumient Life Brain, which houses all our helpful information and guides.